Greetings YouTube. Over the last week, Philippe and Ander have both posted videos concerning the use of weapons by fighter types in D&D or Pathfinder, and the fact that they both feel a certain level of displeasure with how some of the archetypes are presented in the game as opposed to how they feel the archetypes should be presented in the game. And they give two examples. The first is they don't think that barbarians should use rapiers. Okay, you could just house rule that barbarians can't use any weapon that it can be finessed. Done. That would also mean they wouldn't use spiked chains, which is also good. Any reason to eliminate spiked chains from someone's weapon list is a good thing. Actually, calling the spiked chain as a weapon is an insult to all real weapons in the world. Candlesticks are better weapons than spiked chains. But there's a reason that barbarians didn't use rapiers historically. The time period that the barbarians existed in, which is normally what in gaming terms we think of as like the Norse, the Norsemen, was because during the Norse era there were no rapiers. Yes, I am aware that there were estocs and that there were thin-bladed bronze swords used by the Celts, but neither of them were rapiers. So if you want to break down weapons by time period, I can get behind that idea. And I would recommend the book From Stone to Steel. I can't remember the publisher, but it's an excellent book. 3.5 version is available, and it could be easily ported into Pathfinder without any work whatsoever. Breaks down weapons and armor by time period, and it's incredibly thorough. So thorough that I would recommend it as a reference in general for just someone who wants some fast information about weapons, even a layperson who isn't a gamer. So, in real life, barbarians, berserkers, shield biters, didn't use rapiers because from their culture, they didn't have access to them. And let's face it, they want a big, hefty weapon because a big, hefty weapon fits their frothing at the mouth, biting their shield, swinging something until they crush it attitude much better than would a rapier. So either say they can't use finessable weapons, or say they only have access to things from that particular time period, and the problem is solved. There is no need to change the game or the rules in the least. The second example the two of these gents gave was the bullwhip. The whip, as the game calls it, Pathfinder in 3.5. Now, I don't know if anyone from our community just ever used a whip, but you need space equal to twice the distance that thing is long. So if you have a 10-foot whip, you need a circle 20 feet in diameter to safely and effectively use a whip. You don't use a whip like this, folks. You use a whip like this. So rangers using whips is dumb. Rangers live amongst trees and foliage and bushes, and yeah, I pronounced that incorrectly intentionally. Sorry, folks. But you can't use a whip in that. Rangers are the long-range reconnaissance commandos of the D&D world. Go ask how many special forces in our world use whips. None. Why? Because they don't fit the job. A ranger that's standing out in the middle of the open with a whip in his hand is failing to do his job as a ranger. They're supposed to be the sneaky type, sniping from a distance, or coming out of nowhere, slashing someone to death with their fast weapons, and then moving on. That's what a ranger does. They're hit-and-run tactics. It's what they excel at. It's what they should be doing. Now, rangers could, for example, be typically using like machetes and axes. You are correct. Light, fast weapons. But they can also use spears. And there are a number of wonderful archetypes in the Pathfinder game showing you all kinds of different ways you can use a ranger. And again, I don't think we need to change anything to achieve that end. I think both the videos that were put up about this topic are a solution looking for a problem. I don't think this problem exists. And both people have come up with solutions for something that I can't fathom why they're doing it. Now I know, I'm a pedantic ass on occasion. I come up with solutions for things that don't work all the time. So, I understand the need, the desire to do that. But in this particular case, I'm failing to grasp why they decided that barbarians can't use too light weapons. What if the barbarian is from a bear cult? Why couldn't they use bladed gauntlets in a berserk fury, emphasizing two-weapon fighting, perfectly emulating the fury of a cave bear? Would not that fit a barbarian archetype to a T? I think it would. So I think that this particular situation is a solution begging a problem. Now, like I said, you want to do it by time period, or you want to say, okay, barbarians can't use finessable weapons? Cool. That's a house rule. And everybody's happy, I guess. But whips, they should be exotic. Always. Now, the fact that bards get to use them and they're non-exotic for bards, I don't care. I think bards are silly. I really have never been able to figure out why any adventuring group needs a walking boombox.